Episode 1, From Bulldogs to Cowboys. Got a cool beat?
Yeah, it is a cool beat. And if I had my own rap lyrics, I'll put my own rap to it. Y'all must have forgot. Pull out a little Roy Jones Jr. on you.
Didn't he just fight over in Russia and get knocked out?
Yeah, he got knocked out, and he came back and fought another guy.
Did he fight again?
Yeah, he challenged the guy, just a normal fan, that if he knocked him out, if he beat him, he'd give him $100,000.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
And he knocked the guy out.
Right.
I think he got another fight coming up here in the next month or so.
Shouldn't he retire?
Yeah, I think he's retired. He's, 47 years old?
That's pretty old.
Yeah,
he's boxing.
Yeah, he still got the quick hands on the bags, but when he get in that ring, he just slows down.
But look at Houston. Houston's got to be pushing 45, and he's still getting in the ring.
Yeah, but Houston started later though.
He did.
Houston by the Steelers looks like he's 31 years old.
He's a freak.
Yeah, Roy, you can tell he's slowing down.
Yeah.
The hand speed. It's just not. He's just the drive is not there. You know, sometimes you gotta know when to say when.
Yeah. Well, maybe you'll say when. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Husker Nation podcast. This week we're getting Tommie's top 5 takeaways for over the Husker victory over Bulldogs. We're going to do some rapid fire questions, and we're going to look ahead to the Cowboys. I'm your co-host, Dan Powers, and joined by two-time national champ, Tommie Frazier.
Welcome. Thanks everybody for listening to the podcast this week.
Before we talk about the game, real quick, I wanted your thoughts about the whole Sam Foltz thing. They talk about it a lot, so I don't want to beat it in. But have you ever seen a team during an active game do something like what the Huskers did?
I can't recall, but I'm pretty sure it's not the first time something like that happened. But it was a great way to honor a football player, especially a player who meant so much to the team, and also the state of Nebraska and the community. You know, some of the things that he did in the community, as far as giving back with kids and stuff like that, it spoke volumes. And for them to do that and honor him the way they did, I mean, it was great. It was a great thing to see.
Yeah, it was pretty emotional, and I thought it was interesting that, they got a lot of attention, right? Every sports outlet in the nation picked that up.
Well, it was worth to be picked up. You know, it's the first time you ever seen on national TV, and I say national TV as BTN, which to me is national TV, to where you see them go out on the field minus one player, and right there is paying homage to to the punter. You know, and you think about stuff like that, but you never see it happen, and it did, and it was just a great show of affection, great show of understanding that life is more important than football, more important than sports, and when you can show that solidarity and gratitude, and to a player who meant so much to this program and to this team, it says a lot. And what was even more commendable, Fresno State, they declined to punt. I mean, they even got behind it and actually had Sam Foltz emblems on the back of their helmet.
Yeah, that was very classy of those guys. Yeah, nothing but respect, I think, for Fresno State after showing, that kind of respect for Sam Foltz in their program. That was pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you get me. It's college football. People don't realize that it's a brotherhood. It expands not just in Nebraska but across the nation. To where when you go to these different award shows or different camps and stuff, you're with other guys from other teams. And when you've been recruited with a bunch of guys from other teams. And so, I mean, it's a brotherhood, and you stay friends with guys for a long time. Not because you're not playing with each other or playing against each other. You're still friends with a lot of guys.
Well said. You ready to get into this?
I'm ready to get into it.
All right, we're going to go through Tommie's top 5 takeaways from the Bulldog-Nebraska game. What do you got for number one?
Number one, the running game. Watching them force themselves to run the football. It's great to see them utilize the talent that they have back there. This was a game that they really didn't need to throw the ball a lot, and I knew that going into the game that they was going to try to establish the run game, and for them to rush for almost 300 yards. And see those guys perform, to see the offensive line have some confidence, that was great to see early on.
Who impressed you the most?
Ugzigbo.
Yeah,
Ugzigbo. I think he's
fantastic.
I think he's by far the best guy. And I thought that last year, even watching him when he played Illinois, I thought that. And I kept saying, I was newbie. But then once I saw Ugzigbo come in and when they took him out, I think it was a true freshman last year, and they took him out of his red shirt, and he went into Illinois, and basically if they kept feeding him the ball, they don't want to beat Illinois. and then to watch what he did in the bowl game, and from the bowl game he just continue what he's doing, and I think he's the type of back right now that fits this offense perfect.
Yeah, nothing bad about Newby, but he just doesn't seem very explosive.
No, I think Newby might be a third down. I think he might be a third down back. Yeah. I think he's the back that you put him out there and then you throw the little quick screens to him, get him on some pass routes, give him a little zone reads when we're not expecting. But the every down back, the guy who should be, in my opinion, should get the bulk of the carry is Zigbo.
Well, we'll see what happens after this week. He seems like he's got to earn the least. He's earned the time that he's getting in there, and hopefully, we'll see what happens.
Yes, just watching him lowering his shoulder and driving through people and gaining 5 more yards to run. That's a Lawrence Phillips. That's a Amon Green. That's a Calvin Jones. That's a Derrick Brown type running back there.
Number two,
no turnovers. No turnovers on offense. That to me that's the biggest thing. And of course they limited to how many passes they threw. But when you can finish a game on offense with no turnovers, I think they ran about 71, 72 plays. And if you finish with no turnovers, you give yourself a chance to win, because there's a lot of there's a lot of football I watched this weekend, and there's a lot of turnovers, and a lot of turnovers cost a team a victory. And so Nebraska protected the ball offensively now, and they did have some hiccups in other areas, but they protected the ball offensively.
I think there was one fumble the whole game, right?
I think it was one fumble, and Nebraska recovered it. But they did a fine job of protecting the football.
You think that's why they kept DeMaurier personnel out of the game from punts, or do you think just to calm them down, or do you think there's bigger issues there?
No, I think it was just they're just trying to get him back into the flow of the game. Maybe he was nervous. It happens. That's part of when you're coming off an injury and you hadn't played in a while. You get the nerves and you get nervous out there. But at the end of the day, they got to find a way to get him on the field, because he is a playmaker, and whichever way you do it, you got to get him some touches.
Number three,
defensive line. I thought they did a great job of stopping the run. That's the one thing you can do. If you stop the run, you got a chance to win a lot of football games, and that's the one thing Charlie McBride preached. That's the one thing that my high school coach, defensive coordinator preached, that if we stop the run, make a team one-dimensional, is going to give ourselves a chance to win a lot of football games. And that's what happened. I think they gave up maybe 61, 30, 35 yards total in the run game.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Rush is allowed 31 yards.
So, you hold a team 31 yards in 4 quarters, wow. You're doing something. And I understand that you sent some run blitzes and all that kind of stuff, but you still held a team to 31 yards rushing. You're not going to win very many football games.
No. That's pretty miraculous, actually.
It is. This defensive run game stopping defense wasn't bad last year. I was listening to the radio over here. 3 of the last 4 opponents they held to under 100 yards. So obviously they did some things. They know what they're doing in the run game.
They lost 2 big guys on the defensive line last year.
They did. So. They lost two, and they, just imagine those 2 guys are still here.
Yeah.
They probably be the number 1 first round draft picks, but they're gone. But the guys that were here, they stepped up and they stopped the run game. Fresno couldn't do anything on the run game.
All right, what's number 4?
Number 4, defensive backs.
Defensive backs.
I'm very impressed with those young guys back there. When you're talking about Lamar Jackson and
Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams, yes. The way those guys got there and played. Were they perfect? No. But you saw those guys have an edge to themselves. You saw those guys come up and hit people when they need to. You saw those guys, they made a mistake, they let it go. And that's what Nebraska defense need. Going into the season, I all thought the back 7 will probably be the weakest part because of the experience back there. I don't know if the back 7 might be the best part of the defense.
Yeah, they didn't have Nate Gary back there either this week.
Well, they might be better without Nate Gary. Yeah. Nate Gary does bring some things with experience, and he has a chance of making big plays. But he also, as you saw over his career, can make the big mistakes too.
Yeah, he definitely has. What about I think it was Kyron Williams that did at the very end. He had a tackle and he stood over the guy and kind of flexed and everything. Got the personal penalty on that.
To me, that's just part. If you look at college football, you see that happening all the time. Yeah. I think it was just one of those deals to where it happened in front of everybody, where it's out in the open. But if you go back and look at college games on defense, how you saw the guys celebrating and looking down at guys after they hit them, that's part of it. I can't remember what game I was watching. Was where the quarterback tried to dive in the end zone and got caught in the air and slammed it down and actually fumbled the ball and then they actually recovered the ball. But you saw the defensive back stand over the quarterback. It was a Tennessee game.
Yeah.
There's a tendency that when Dobbs got hit at the goal line in overtime and the guy stood over him, you didn't see that call. So I think it's just a temperament of the official, and just you gotta be smart about it.
All right, moving on. Last one, number 5.
Last and then last, say the number 5 for the worst. Special teams.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my goodness! What and Coach Riley said it right. It looked like a cartoon, a big old no work cartoon out there where guys bumping into each other and guys not catching punt. Guys, people. There's 3 parts to a game: offense, defense, special teams. And special teams can cost you the game just as fast as offense and defense. And I just don't understand, why can't Nebraska find someone that can catch and return the football?
And when you say special teams, you're really talking about, at least for this game, punts.
Punt returns.
Because I think Trey Bryant had a pretty good run from a kickoff perspective.
Yeah, I'm talking about punt and punt return.
Yeah.
I mean, why? I'm just not, don't get it. And I've seen it, for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
With the exception of one when DPE was healthy his freshman year, where he was returning punts here and there. We haven't had anybody return any punts, and like everything is just caught and put the ball down, fair caught, or let the ball hit the ground, and we're losing points on that. I watch many games where you see guys catch the ball and advance at 5 yards. 5 yards is good.
Yeah.
You don't see too many teams catching the ball anymore, but for some reason Nebraska can't find a return guy, and you might have him, but how come he's not doing it?
It's a good question, because they had Westerkamp in there, which is not their number 1 punt return guy according to the depth chart. And even that first punt, it looked like it touched him.
I thought it hit off his foot.
Yeah,
I really did. And by his reaction, he thought it hit off his foot.
He was going after it.
Yeah, so I just think that if Nebraska want to move to the next level, the special team is where it's probably the easiest place you can do that, because you're getting guys out there who want to have fun to go out there and play. So we got to find a punt returner, and we got to do a better job on protecting, blocking on punts. You can't have a punt block, because
that was terrible.
You just can't do that. No. So special teams, I think, and I say special teams, the punt game and the punt return teams need to be worked on.
All right. Well, there's the top 5. So I have some rapid fire questions.
Rapid fire. Ooh, rapid fire.
So I'm just going to shoot them at you, and you can just give your brief or long if you prefer.
No, I'm going to try to be as brief as I can.
All right. I got 5 or 6 of them here that I've collected from Facebook and Twitter.
Okay.
Number 1, is the passing game struggles any reason for concern?
No. Everything's going to change. Depends on the opponent. When your running game is going as well as it was, why change it up and try to throw the ball 40 times? So 10 times was enough. They were able to hit a deep pass. So you'll see them throw the ball more when it's needed.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any struggles per se. I just didn't think it was necessary this game.
No, I don't think.
Played it safe.
Here's the problem. I remember last year people were saying we were throwing the ball too much. Why don't we run the ball? Now we're running the ball, and it was in one game. Well, we need to throw the ball more. So people just relax. It's early on this season. You want to get your offensive line to establish a mentality that no matter who we face, we're going to run the ball against.
All right, next question. Should Ezekbo have a bigger workload in the coming weeks?
I think he should. I think he should be a 25 to 30 carry guy.
I agree totally. Is the run defense for real?
If they continue playing the way they're playing with run blitzes and changing the scheme up on, I think it is. And this team has always been a good run stopping team. So this is nothing new, because they were doing it. They did it last year, and they did it years before this. So with the exception of Wisconsin. But other than that, Nebraska's always proud itself on stopping the run.
It'll be interesting in a couple of weeks when Oregon comes here to see what.
Yeah, and for me it'd be a different type of run game, because with the tempo and the way Oregon spreads people out, even Wyoming's going to be different, because the Wyoming's prides themselves on being a powerful run team. All
right, next question: are you worried about Nebraska's personal penalties?
Of course, the personal penalties that hurts. It's just one of those deals to where it comes down to who's more disciplined, and when you having pre-snap penalties, means you're not very disciplined. I can understand some penalties that happen in the middle of a play, but when you don't even snap the ball and you get penalties, that's the issue there. To me, that's lack of concentration.
Fair enough. Now, you kind of already answered this one, but the question was, do you think personnel is going to be able to contribute at all this year?
I think he will. I think they just have to find a way to get him involved, and if they can do that, it's going to be a great thing. Because, look at the Purdue game last year when he got hurt. I mean, he contributed there. I think he contributed in the Minnesota game. He's a special player. Now, the question is, how confident is he in himself? Because sometimes when you come off an injury and you fumble on your first carry, your first time you touch the ball, your confidence is not there. So I think, but if they just find ways to get him the ball and let him play, he's going to contribute this year.
Last question, and it's my question because we talked about Zach Darlington a little bit last week in the heart.
I still remember. I'm in one, 2, 3 games last.